Hello Flight Simulator fans and welcome back to the channel. We are hopping back into Aerofly FS4. No big surprise there. We've got just so much to cover with this thing. Today we're going to be hearkening back to the dawn of the jet age. And we're going to be flying the 737-500. Yes, this is a warning to all of you NG or MAX pilots or anybody who's flying those A3XX planes with their glass cockpits. This is not that. It's going to be a fun flight, I think, and a little bit of a challenge, but definitely interesting. Now, I do want to discuss real quick. We're going to be flying today. Our flight is Long Beach to San Jose. So about 300 miles. Now, I have this flight in here, but I think we're going to have to redo it. So the reason for this is, yes, you can tie the 737-500 to the FMS, right? So you could dial this in and you can follow it. The problem is all the DME on the plane, it only works with VORs. So in other words, this is our first point right after we take off. You can't get the distance here. You never see the top of descent markers or anything like that. So you've kind of got to know, and we're going to do it here. I'm going to create just a VOR to VOR flight, and we'll use that so that we have accurate DME. So we know, otherwise you kind of have to use the moving map. There's just no indication. The DME only works with VOR. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete the route. Same dealie that you would normally do here. You just kind of come up here. If you click in this little bar for the origin, you can then zoom in and you can just pick that. We set that as the origin. Very good. And we're going to go runway 30 just because we're parked so close to it and it's so easy to take off right there. So we'll go ahead and put that in, and we're not going to worry about a departure. Okay, again, we are going to be flying VOR to VOR, old school style. Now, once you click this, you're like, I can't get back to that initial view. You just come back up and click up here. So let's dial in the destination now. So again, you kind of just come down to the bottom here, click on that, and we'll zoom out. And we'll find San Jose up in here. And we're going to set that as the destination. And then notice runway 30 left has a frequency. So we'll have an ILS approach. We'll give the ILS a try. If it doesn't work, we'll just hand fly it. No big deal. But let's take a look at our flight here. Now, we also need to be a little bit of aware of our topography. So you can kind of see here, we've got a real nice, there are mountains, mountains, and then a channel. So we want to try to work our way into that channel and kind of even maintain that. It almost seems like, let's see, this might be a good flight to kind of come up here. We are going to be cruising at 35,000 feet. So let's start adding some VORs. Now, if you need to clean up your view a little bit, like this is very messy and we only care about the VORs, you can just come in and turn off the airports, turn off the NDBs. You could technically use NDBs because there is ADF in this plane. So we can just leave those on. They're just, why if you have a VOR to point at. Kind of not necessary. But anyway, let's go ahead and just start adding some of these guys. Let's add the Van Nuys VOR. Again, we're going to try to work ourselves into this channel here so we have a pretty easy flight. Let's come over here. Let's get this one next. This takes me back, right? We haven't done flight planning like this in a while. Let's add AV next. And it looks like that's going to be the last one that we have. We could come over to here. Let's see what this looks like. I think probably what we'll do here is we'll just kind of swing over. Like we'll just go, into managed mode here, or I'm sorry, heading select mode, and we'll fly it in that way. I think we'll be okay. Although it is a little bit hard to tell kind of where we are, which was the purpose of doing this, right? We will have DME from this point, so at least we'll kind of know that. Man, I don't really like this. There's not a very good point. Let's do this. Let's get this PX in. Let's remove that from the route. I mean, I suppose we could lock in. I don't want to make it a waypoint. Like I was saying, maybe we could just put it. Yeah, this is going to get a little tricky. I'll tell you what. Let's just add ROM. So we're in a bit more of a straight line here. This will be our flight. Okay, we'll just kind of deal with this. And it's a little bit hard to tell, but we'll have to see because... And you know what? I'm going to take note of this NDB this VOR frequency. And what we're going to do here is I'm going to lock that in. I'll just manually put that in the DME. As a matter of fact, you know what? Maybe we'll just lock that in to begin with. Although, I don't know. It'll be better if we don't do that. Let's go ahead and say SJC VOR. Got my notepad here, guys. Just taking quick notes. 114.10. So after we pass ROM, we'll enter SJC, the SJC VOR, and we'll be all set. Now, the other thing you need to be aware of is on your destination. Let's take a look at the runway here. You do need to enter the course manually. So a lot of planes these days with the automatic systems, they'll automatically set the correct course for your autopilot, your ILS landing, and you have to do that manually. So I checked SkyVector. SkyVector has 306 on the approach plate for the ILS 30 left. So we'll have 306 and we'll enter that on the control panel, master control panel. We are recording at 1440p today, so if you're watching this a while after it gets a chance to actually encode it to 1440p, you'll get some superb graphics. Let's go ahead and hit the start button, and here we are. So, as you can see, this is a pretty ugly overhead. I can say that I've done I'd say 2 flights with this in Aerofly FS4, and I don't remember the ones I did in Aerofly FS2. But as you can see, this is not our typical glass cockpit type of deal. Now, we do get some navigation information down here, but again, if you're tied to the FMS, it does not show. So here's your little, you can tie your HSI to a VOR or ILS or NAV, and it will do its thing. Like you would think there would be DME in here, but there just is not. You have the course and the heading. So that's that. Let's go ahead now. And yeah, it should auto-tune our VORs, I'm hoping, for us on the flight. And let's go ahead. Now this one, it's been a while here. Okay, yeah, here's the battery. You kind of can't see it. The word battery is hidden by the cover here. Let's see. We got ground power available. So let's go ahead and get on to ground power. And that'll kind of bring everything to life, right? And we'll clear that out. Okay, good. It looks like the cockpit sounds are recording. So this is our initial position screen, which again, here you just kind of hit the default, accept. That's it. So we come down to the flight plan. We've got that. We see our altitudes here. Let's make sure everything's looking good. So we've got kind of a long stretch after ROM where, we've started to descend. And, yeah, so we'll probably start the descent a little bit early. I think these this computer's a little bit aggressive. It looks like different modes are activated by this, but I'll probably click them, and I'm not sure what impact they have on anything. For the nav portion, like this is where I would have expected to see, if you're tied to the FMS, some distance, and it shows the distance from the time that you start, but this never changes. This never updates. So it's a bit of a bummer because, again, I was flying just a test flight, and I was unable to see the DME, so I kind of had to turn on the moving map and say, oh, I'm getting close. But even with multiple pages, so you can see there are multiple pages here, so it changes some information slightly. It's got the bearing and the track, a tailwind, the current wind, but and then this page is basically useless. You will see the position changing as you're flying, but the distance, never changes. It'll be interesting to see if with VORs it does. So I don't, you know what? I'm a little concerned that we're going to have to manage these courses onto yeah, you see, like, we're going to be tweaking these, but this might be a little bit trickier than I remember. I mean, we're generally heading northish. Programmer Airlines. Let's go ahead and go back to the flight plan page. There is a VNAV component in here, but it looks very simplified. I'm just not sure exactly how this works. I haven't spent much time in it. It does not even switching pages, VNAV path, vertical takeoff. That actually does seem to do something here. Yeah, it doesn't seem to, it kind of does something. So I'm not sure of the functionality there. I don't think any of this stuff works. Or let's see, not even the TCAS filter. Yeah. So this is what we're looking at here. It's just a simplified aircraft going way back. Interesting. It's the DME1 is not even our first. I should have made note. All right, guys, I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get some more information about our VORs so we can have a nice flight here. We'll be right back. Okay, I've gotten the additional information jotted down here about our VORs, so we're set on that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to set the HSI to nav. And we're going to see if it will automatically advance through the waypoints, which are VORs, and hopefully we'll have good DME. Cross his fingers. Anyway, enough about this. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. Well, first of all, we'll go ahead and clean up this overhead a little bit. This yaw damper defaults to on. I remember that being a thing in other sims where I have flown this aircraft. Let's go ahead and hit all of these fuel pumps to on. I don't think we can do anything here with the hydraulics until we get the engine started. These are our emergency exit lights. This is supposed to be armed, so that is armed. We're good now. And we can also turn on... Let's get these windows warming up. We don't need that or that. Okay, pedostatic. Okay, so there's a test there, and that test button doesn't seem to... Oh. Okay, where's test button? Uh-oh. Let's stop clicking around. We better not forget that, but I don't think we will. So far, so good. Now, for the APU, we'll just go ahead, and what you want to do is click and drag this down and hold it. And then you should see that little gauge on the left there. The temp is starting to go up. I'm going to release that. And I can't remember. I think we get the... I think this is the load, but you can check what the APU generator... I mean, it kind of looks like it's already fired up and ready to go. No sound. I'm getting no sound from the aircraft, so it's a little strange, a little bit of a bummer. Let's go ahead and get on the Apu generator. And we can go off the ground power. Now, what that does is it resets. So you have to basically reaccept this thing and go back into your flight plan page. So far, so good. Now, for engine start, we need APU bleed. So that is here. You can see we've got bleed pressure here on the gauge. So we should be able to do this. Now, for the startup, I believe how this works in a more realistically modeled aircraft is we would turn the engine start to GRD, which is like ground. And at that point, the N2 is going to start coming up, which we would be looking at. Well, I guess it would be just the exhaust gas temperature. Something that we would basically wait for these gauges to get to a certain point before we would put the fuel in. So that's not the case in this plane. So we'll just go ahead and get her started. Let's go ahead and set engine 2 to GRD. And we'll put in fuel. And there we go. You can see this starting to come up. Getting a little bit of sound from the aircraft now. Start valve is open. Start valve closed. You hear the switch go back to off for engine start. And that baby is winding up. This definitely took me back for a minute. I don't think there's any way I'm not going to worry about that. A little bit of an oddity with the Airbus TCA throttle quadrant. If you take a look at the flaps, wow, it moves 2 notches of flaps basically for each time. So if you want to get a little more granular, you're going to have to have a different controller or just kind of use your mouse for that. So we'll let that get to flaps 2 there. We'll use that for takeoff. Let's go ahead and get engine 1 going. Let's get a good outside view here so we can watch that engine spool up. Hit the switch. And there it goes. Love this Continental livery. Really looks vintagey. Alright, start valve is closed. Engines are coming up. Boy, that's not a very good... Yeah, that's not a very good texture, is it? It really looks rough on my screen. I got a 4K monitor running at 2K, basically, so... 1440p at the moment. So, let's see. Yeah, I think... we are tied to nav, so this is fine. And we'll set this down a little bit. And we'll worry about arming the auto thrust. We'll set that to 160. Initial altitude here is fine. FMS. This is interesting. Is it tied to... Not sure what that button does. Level change, we know that. Heading select, we know that. We'll set that to runway heading on takeoff. I think we're getting pretty much ready to go here. Let's check our lights. We've got everything pretty well turned on here. Let's see, we can get our runway turn off turned on. We can hit our taxi lights to on since we're going to be doing that. No smoking and the seatbelt sign to on. And we'll go anti-collision for now, and that's fine. Ooh, start valve arming. Interesting. We didn't have to do that, but so far so good. I think we're going to be okay here. Do we need to set... What's our, let's see. Oh, the other thing we need to do here is... Let's get these packs to on. We'll turn the APU bleed off. Let's go here and here. Right pack, left pack. Okay, that should be okay here. Let's see, our landing altitude. I don't know. That's maybe I just can't see that. Is that? Wait a minute. What's the? Yeah, see, this kind of changes, but it doesn't really do anything. So that's fine. Kind of got some, let's see, what's this over here? CH, auto. Yeah, we'll just go auto, just in case. I doubt it matters. Let's go ahead and get back to position 1. Let's see. We're still on the APU, so we'll switch over here. And we'll cut the APU gen. Okay, that automatically cuts off. We can go ahead and I'll leave the APU running for now. We'll shut it off after takeoff. And of course, now we reset the computer again here. And we are ready, guys. Was that something else? I'm telling you, it's been so long. When I fired this thing up, I was like, oh crap. I'm gonna have to practice this. All right, let me set the brakes here, and we'll cut off the parking brake. And then let's zoom out just a little bit. And we just have to taxi right there. Let's go ahead and put in a little bit of power. I did tweak the sensitivity on my rudder, so I'm hoping that you know, we'll have a better experience on landing. Oh boy, yeah, it's still pretty sensitive. Oh boy, here comes Kitty, all excited that I'm up in the middle of the night. It's one of those days, you know, I woke up at like 3:15 in the morning and couldn't go back to sleep. I don't know, I think these rudder sensitivities definitely make me, but here's the thing is I set it to really low sensitivity in the sim. Oh, Kitty, what are you doing, honey? Sorry, guys, I got a cat climbing in my lap. She doesn't know where she wants to go. Hold on, we got a cat. We got a cat attack. We got a cat attack. What was that weird flap sticking down in the front there? Huh. Oh, this must be the landing light covers or something. Sweet. Okay, back to taxiing. Kitty is gone. Kitty has moved on to more interesting things to do here. I mean, I even set a dead zone. You know, there's like a dead zone and a sensitivity. I set the sensitivity really low, and it's still pretty sensitive. So we'll have to see. Let's take this first turn off here. Put in just a little bit of brakes. Easy does it. Usually Aerofly is pretty big on making skid sounds. Easy, easy. Oh boy. She's lining up like a drunk duck here. Boy, look at this runway. It's magnificent. And I can see one thing I already missed, and I'm glad I caught it. let's go ahead and stop right here, and we'll set the parking brake. Put our throttles back to idle. You can see our heading bug down there, a little triangle. We'll set that to the runway heading for the moment. We have initial altitude set at 10,000 feet. No flight directors yet. That wasn't, that would have been a problem. And can we arm the auto thrust at this point? Not really worried about V speeds. Could drag these down. I'm not even sure. Let's see if we can find them. Just for information purposes only. Performance. That's only one page. What does this do? List doesn't do anything. Nav. Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. Alright. I think we're pretty well set to go here. We will go into heading select. We'll kind of pre-select heading select mode here. Interesting. I'm going to have to... Not a lot of information on this plane on the Aerofly website. The tutorial was pretty lacking. Let's set our auto brake to max. Flight directors are on. Altitude is set. Got all our lights turned on. Everybody's in their seats. Ground power is still available? Really? You know, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Now, how did any of this work? Sim light. Shouldn't have been able to do that, I don't think. I mean, we deployed flaps and taxied with no hydraulics turned on. Yeah. Aerofly wouldn't have to worry about it if I did it right, yeah? Alright, let me get a little bit more comfortable here in my seat. That auto thrust arm. Let's go ahead and cut the parking brake off. Let's bring our throttles up a little bit. We'll get a nice roll going. Let the engine stabilize. And here we go. Airspeed's alive. 100 knots. Good taxi. Or, I'm sorry, good roll. Good takeoff roll here. Back on the throttle a little bit. Positive rate. Gear up. We're going to stick to that flight director for the time being here. One thing, if you have lever asymmetry, you'll have trouble with the autopilot, with the auto thrust. I go ahead and engage the autopilot. So far, so good. I don't know if we had to set. There it goes. Now it's going to honor that. Let's go ahead and switch over into our Lnav mode. Which, let's see how this works out, because you notice the course. Course is 314. Okay, that would appear to be our correct heading. You can use the moving map just to check yourself here. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? I should have pre-selected the speed mode. I wasn't sure if it would automatically kick in or not. Let's go ahead and bring the speed up now. And we can start bringing the flaps up. Now then, what's our DME pointed at? 110.30. And that is not our next waypoint. It is 113.10. So basically, we got 21 miles. We've come up to our initial altitude. I'm going to bring the flaps all the way up. Whoops, I've reached for my throttle quadrant, forgetting that it's not quite set right here. And let's increase. Let's just get up to our 35,000 feet. Expedite. Alright, so it looks like it's trying to, there's our Van Nuys Airport there, our VOR. It actually is the airport as well, but we are flying not to the airport. So far so good. Speed protection's holding at 220 knots. We are getting a good climb here at about 4,000 feet per minute. Not bad, not bad. Now let's see. Yeah. So you see the distance to VNY is not updating as we fly. And this is what I noticed when it's set to, when you're in the FMS mode. There's just like no DME. So the DME you got to go with. We're going to dial in the next one, 116.10. Again, this is our DME panel right here. Yeah, you have two of them, one for each side. Well, we got 53 miles. I'm not sure of the accuracy of the ranges to, you know, when the VORs are available, when they're not, that kind of thing. So notice that it has automatically adjusted our course. This course will be used for landing, so I'm going to set that to 306. And what we'll do is we'll switch into VOR ILS mode when it's time to land. Let's pause. We didn't take a look at that takeoff. What the heck, man? We've been flying for like 20 minutes. Look at my view. I'm just looking down at the control. All right, let's go right to about here. Let's hop outside. Let's get a good view lined up here. Let's get the airport if we can. Some buildings and whatnot for reference. Let's hit this on. I thought the takeoff roll went pretty well. I will say that I prefer the flight simulator method for adjusting your, you can adjust the sensitivity on every specific axis. So in Aerofly, you basically get one adjustment per axis or per controller. So, oh, wow, very nice. Pitch up. Sweet. Look at that beast go right up into the air. That's what airplanes do, programmer. Yeah. I did switch the renderer to OpenGL. And again, we're at 1440p, and I gotta be honest, I think it looks better. I think it looks better than Vulkan. Alright, let's get out of this mode here. Let's get back to this view. We'll unpause and resume the flight here. Oh, we can see our 116.10. That's how we know what we're pointing at. We got 49 miles to go to there. I don't even think this advances. I don't even think the flight plan advances through the... oh, nice. It does advance through the modes. I like that. I didn't have to change it to that automatically. Pretty cool. Yeah, so the ILS will probably be a little bit tricky, but if you look at your HSI, you kind of got a glide slope portion right here. And so a little marker. I can't remember if it's... It might be like right here on this bar. It might be here. I can't remember. But we should be able to pull it off, I think. The engines look like they're doing okay. We're kind of watching here. Yeah, there's nothing at full throttle. No, we're not having it now. Notice the levers appear like on my controller. They are perfectly aligned. But here they're not. And in a test flight, they got so far off that it eventually would disconnect the autopilot. And I couldn't figure out what was happening. I was like, what is happening? And I finally lined them back up and everything was fine. Let's see what it's doing is it has to move everything. I'm going to make sure that these are... Like, it seems to be doing engine 1 and engine 2 differently, but what do I know? Let the plane fly, programmer. That's what it wants to do. Oh yeah, let's hop outside the aircraft. Wow. Now that is a thing of beauty. I'm telling you, I think OpenGL is a better renderer, at least on my PC. It might be hardware dependent. I'm running a GeForce RTX 3070. So beautiful though, just amazing. Let's go ahead and turn our... Yeah, we can go ahead and turn these landing lights off, right? We don't need those. Yeah, we can turn off taxi lights. Yeah, we're not ready to let the people wander about the cabin just yet, so... I do dig this kind of open overhead, it looks like. You know, it's a little bit open on the top there. 22,000 feet, climbing up to 35,000. So far, so good. Okay, it did advance. It did advance automatically. Let's check nav. See, I would really think that the distance here should be updating. So I don't know if that's a bug, but you can see as we switch through the pages, there's really no... You got no indication. Your only indication is the DME. So, I don't know. Without moving map and using VORs, I'm not sure how you kind of get around this. Go back to the flight plan mode. We got a pretty good stretch right there. We're at 35,000. We're going to want to start our descent at about, so let's see, 35,000 divided by 1,000 times 3. That would be 115 miles. Tack on another 10, so 125 miles out. So about 25 miles or 20 miles left from on a ROM. We'll want to... oh, well, it's already got our descent there. So... yeah, we calculated it about the same. Very nice. How's our DME looking on this guy? 27 miles. Got a ways yet. Just relaxing, taking it easy. Hope everything's going well. It's Friday. Still got a whole work day to go, but it's Friday. Be breaking out my power washer this weekend and power washing the driveway and water sealing the concrete, spraying off the house. Might even try to wash the truck. Truck's never had a wash, and I always believe pickup trucks should be dirty. It's a working vehicle. But since I figured since the pressure washer came with a soaker, I should try it. It's kind of like you go to one of those pay places where they got the wand and you wash your car that way. So I'm going to hook that up and give that a shot, because if it works good, maybe I'll keep the truck a little cleaner. I don't know. Yeah, we're climbing about 1,000 feet per minute now. So I don't think we're necessarily at best climb, but seem to be doing well. The thing is proceeding as expected. Not too much longer either. I have a feeling this flight's going to go fast. And once we descend, it's really cool, the little channel. It almost feels like a poor man's Lowry approach. The United States version, without very many dangerous mountains on the side. Gosh, by the time we'll be well on our way to Avenel before we hit 35,000. Plane's working, climbing a little bit, climbing up to this altitude. Very nice. Everything seems to be going well. A little disturbed by that lever asymmetry. All right, what's our next VOR? I want to say it's 117.11. Let's go back to the previous page here so we can kind of keep track of this. At 10 miles, so let's go ahead and say, yeah, I had to put 0. You can't do 0.1. All right, we got 83 miles to go there. So yeah, that about matches up. At Avenel, it says 35,000. Let's go to the next page and see how long that leg is. Yeah, we'll want to break off when we're on our way to Rom. Start descending. Well, as soon as we can level out, we'll go ahead and increase our speed. But for now, we are sitting pretty. Flying old school. 79 miles to Avenel. Still have some lights on? Looks like it, don't it? Damn, it looks like all the lights are on. Didn't I just turn those off? Alright. Breaking off here to the next VOR. Course automatically set. That's very nice. And 74 miles to Avenel. So again, I find this the easiest way to navigate, VOR to VOR. And I don't know, like when this plane was flying, I mean, if it was, and I don't even, they could still be flying today for all I know. I haven't done much research on it, but I'm wondering if the DME is actually VOR only. Like, you would have to know, you would have to have some VORs that would be close along your flight path to say, okay, when I get to this point, it's time to, you know, do my descent. Otherwise, I'm not sure how you'd know. The only other thing I can think of is that here in this nav page, the distances should be updating and they're not. So, I mean, that's just a bummer. This would be perfect. Yeah. I keep thinking I'm like going crazy, right? Like I should see it, but none of these buttons actually do anything. Yeah, we're only climbing at 500 feet per minute now. Let's bring our speed down a smidge. We'll keep those engines, we don't need them maxing out or anything. There you go. That gave us a little bit more climb. We'd probably already be there if I had set if I knew what the proper speed was. Should have jotted down the frequency for the ILS approach just so we could manually dial that in. Oh, wait a minute. Where's our... There we go. Okay, now I'm wondering, do you go next, previous? Like, how do you pick the right one? Okay, I guess there's a recall, but I can't see how to activate it. So we can set our own, like right now that's dialed into Avenel. Yeah, I'm gonna go look up. Oh boy. Don't crash, don't crash. SkyVector.com, and we'll go to San Jose. And let's pull up the approach plate 30 left. Localizer 110.9. And it might automatically tune it for us, I'm hoping. I just want to be sure because I will switch over into VOR ILS mode so we can capture the ILS, and I just don't want anything bad to happen. So I'll try to prevent it, but yeah, this should be updating, I think. Man, this is awesome. I do miss fly. I knew I would like this. At first I was like, oh man, this is going to be really tough. I've super gotten used to the glass cockpits. But I remember, I mean, back in the day, like I never flew using anything but VORs. Because I come from a largely VFR background, so. Wow, we are really got to get our, I don't know, we might be getting close. Why don't we just dial in 31,500 and call that. There we go. Level out, plane. It's like, damn. Okay, vertical speed's locking in. Yeah, we could have just done altitude hold. Let's bring our speed up now. Now that we have achieved cruising altitude. Yeah, we're 40 miles from Avenel, so we're doing okay, but gosh, it took us almost half the flight just to get up to cruising altitude. Oh, let's find out what's going on with these lights, because I swear I turned those off. I must have missed some. Oh, they were off to begin with. I turned them on. Programmer Airlines. Oh, that's better. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Oh, there's Mr. Ed. He's got to get his 2 cents in. Got to get his 2 cents in about how I'm flying. Actually, I think he's checking out outside cats. I have some strays that I've been feeding for years. Okay, interesting. The speed seems to be staying where it is. The engines are pretty well maxed out, I guess. I mean, they're not really. They're well into the green, but... Auto thrust is armed. Go. Auto thrust is armed. Speed. I mean, can I turn it off? What's this do? No, I think this EPR is like a economy mode or something. What are we missing? I don't know what we're missing on this, guys. I would assume that it would just do it, but doesn't seem to like that. I mean, honestly, I'm okay with going slower. It just takes longer. Is the speed? It seems like it's climbing just super slow. It is. It's going up, it's just going real freaking slow. It's so slow, it's almost imperceptible. Alright, well, we'll just let it do its thing. I mean, we're up in thin air, so we know it's going to take a minute here. We got 30, what are we looking at? 30 miles to Avenel. Yeah, we're going to begin our descent very shortly. We'll be down much closer to the ground. Get out of these clouds and be able to see some more of this beautiful Aerofly terrain. I do think the OpenGL renderer performs better. We are slowly creeping up to our cruising speed. Very nice. Now notice it hasn't activated cruise mode. Maybe I have to do that manually. I was wondering if that might affect the engine performance, but I don't think so. Notice engine 2. The percent RPM is way off. It's way higher. So let's see if maybe bringing those back into symmetry. I mean, I don't know. It should be moving those throttles by itself, so... That's weird. Again, now on my controller, they're not matched right, and I just calibrated this inside of the sim, so I'm a little surprised about that. Anyway, I don't think it's going to affect too much. We're still landing. Oh, we're getting up on our cruising speed. We got 17 miles. What's our next VOR here? We got the Priest VOR at 110.0. Let's go ahead and dial that in to our DME. And it looks like it hasn't picked it up yet. So that does indicate that there is kind of a range. Although I think it's 70 some miles, right? So I don't know. I'm not sure why we were picking that up. I thought it had us going 70 some miles. I hope I wrote down that frequency right. we'll be able to tell whatever VOR 1 gets set to. Beautiful. Let's take a look at our moving map. Yes, we are on track. Doing good. Turn that moving map off. Put that in right, 110.0. Yeah, it seems like we should be seeing that, but let's go back to 117.10 so we know exactly when we fly over. Alright, yeah, we got 6 miles yet. And there we go, it just switched over. So let's take a look at our radio page here. Okay, Nav 1, it says is tuned to 117.10. I don't see how that could be. Do we have a 110.0? See, this is where I'm starting to like get nervous, right? How big of a stretch is that? That's not a very big stretch. It seems like we should be picking that up. I must have written down the frequency wrong. Go back to SkyVector real quick. Let's do a search. ROM. And it went crazy on me. Yeah, without any DME, like, I'm kind of in trouble. We can try to tune KSJC, but I think what we have to do is we're going to have to go back to the 117.10 and track our distance from that waypoint. So it's 15 miles. Once we get to 20 miles, we'll start our descent. I'll probably bring the speed back just a little bit. Alright. Auto thrust working good. Look at these levers. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so I set my throttle quadrant completely back, and so now it seems to be moving both levers correctly. Maybe you're supposed to do that. I don't know. It's working, that's fine. And the engines are, you know, they look good. So that was an oddball. Time to descend. Let's start with a descent down to 21,000 feet. Level change. And see those throttles drop back to idle. And we'll begin our descent. This is the Priest VOR, not ROM. What am I doing? No wonder I can't find it. Change that. Priest VOR. I don't know. It's not coming up. It's not coming up in Sky Vector. Things are going insane. We probably need to be descending just a little bit faster here. So let's put in some speed brake. Try to get down to a, try to get up to a 2,500 foot per minute descent rate. There's some mountains down there. Not too worried about that. Yeah, I'm weirded out by the fact that it doesn't seem to have updated. I mean, it says it's tuned to 117.1, but that's not right. Strange. Alright, so we're already under 26,000, so we're below profile before we hit ROM, and I mean, we're getting close to it, right? Yep, getting close. Yeah, we might as well tune in the San Jose VOR now. What's 114.10? That just gives us an indication of how far. Okay, so I don't know, maybe I had that frequency wrong. Looks like it's about 99 miles. So we've got time to get down. Pretty close to a 2,500 feet per minute descent rate. There we are. We're like John Travolta flying our own jet. Very nice. I'll put in a little bit more speed brake, just to make things fun. Now we're coming up on 21,000. We're just going to continue. Go down to 14,000. $99 miles to San Jose. 80 miles. 89 miles. There we go. Now we got a better descent rate going on. A little bit faster. Looking good though. Is our landing altitude anyway at San Jose. Field elevation, where are you? Surveyed elevation 62 feet. So we have a full 17,000 17,800 feet to go. And we're definitely getting close fast. Down to 82 miles already, 81 miles. I'm going to keep right on descending down. Go ahead and set 10,000 and let's drop down to 250. Very nice flight so far. Almost 7 a.m. Time to go get some breakfast here in a minute. Oh, my coffee got cold. Forgot I had coffee. How we doing here? Coming up on 10,000. We got our 250. 75 miles from the airport. Yeah, we'll probably get down a little bit lower. Maybe hang right around 7,000. What do you guys think? We will have covered a good bit of distance there. And we got our course dialed in. 306. Our VOR frequency is 110.9. It would be nice to figure out on this tune, like, do you, no, 80F 180, so there's that. Yeah, I would think that the next in previous would work good, but so that's dialed into, that says 114.10, which is my DME. This is bizarre. I'm just gonna wait till we get closer, and then I'll put in the ILS, and we'll switch to VOR ILS mode. Take a look at our moving maps for a little peace of mind, a little security. Definitely en route, definitely on our way. 60 miles. Coming down through 9,000 feet. Very nice. That's not our guy up way up there, is it? No, that's a different airport. It's only got one runway. But it's the same idea. Like I said, poor man's Laui, right? Got some not so dangerous mountains, but still kind of a channel there. Let's see if I can't dial in this 110.90. go 110. Back. Here's the period. Oh no. Is there no period? Okay. Alright. So be it. Let's descend 5,000. 50 miles. Let's see if I switch into VOR ILS mode here on the HSI. I mean, were we even at our last waypoint yet? No, not really, but I don't want to be 4 miles away from the airport either and have to lock in on the ILS. We'll have to see how this goes, guys. This is the exciting part. Take a look outside the aircraft again as we prepare. Love those shadows on the ground from the buildings. They're amazing. Yeah, I'm thinking this means it doesn't have the frequency yet. Yeah, we'll have to just land it manually if it doesn't work out. I think that's probably us. Maybe this is us way up here. Let's take a look at the moving map. And it seems like we're pretty much should be on a straight shot. That runway looks like it might be a little wacky for us. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'd be lying though if I said I wasn't a little nervous. Oh, maybe I can do... No. Maybe I go into... Oh crap, that was wrong. Stop. Heading select. Damn, see, I'm starting to wonder if that's us. No, there's a KE-16. Yeah, I mean, we're still 40 miles away. Why do I feel like that could be 40 miles and that could be our airport? I'm going to go ahead and go heading select here. I'm going to start slowing us down as well. Still got our speed brake extended. No. not going to do that just yet. Something is definitely, I don't think, right here. Let's go full speed brake. Let's get some flaps. See how we're looking here. Okay, yeah, that's not us.
2,500.
Let's hold at, yeah, let's hold right there. I'm gonna go back into Lnav here. I mean that, oh shit. Okay, it's just correcting. Easy does it, easy does it, easy does it. Correcting a little bit here. I would like to get some more flaps. I have some more flaps, sir. Might be a smidge low. That would have been great to land at the wrong runway at the wrong airport. Yeah, we're good now. Plenty of room. Okay, now there's our runway straight ahead. I'm wondering if we're going to get our ILS here or there, but I'm going to go... Well, I can't get into loc mode. Oh, is that because... Yeah, well, I'm in here. I should be able to... It's our heading select.
2,500.
Let's go into heading select mode. Bank angle. We're going to come just a little bit right. We're going to get lined up here. Come on. I don't know why it's not giving me the VOR localizer mode. I should be able to switch into that. We've clearly got the VOR now, so... Yeah, we have to be ready to fly this because I'm not having a great deal of confidence at the moment. Let's go ahead and get set up. We'll set our auto brakes to medium. Let's get our landing lights down.
2,500.
Come on. Nope. No, not quite that far.
2,500.
Let's get slowed down. Okay. Putting in some, getting some more flaps moving there. Okay, there we go. This had to go into approach mode. And we should pretty much be in capture. So we'll see how this works. I mean, it might do it. I don't know. I was kind of surprised that we couldn't click that button to do it, but what do I know? I'm a hack. There we go. We got full flaps. Oh, let's see. Let's go ahead and get the APU going. Got 11 miles to the airport. Oh, we never let everybody get up and walk around the cabin. Too bad for them. So I think this is our indicator right here. I think this is our localizer down here. I am seeing all red right now, indicating that we're below the profile, so we'll wait for this to intercept, but I think right now we're in a pretty good place. We'll have to see. I'm going to go ahead and get my feet comfortably in the rudder pedals here. Yeah, we can kind of see that indicator. Yep, indicator's moving down. There's our glide slope. Landing gear down. Full flaps. Gear down. Got all of our lights on. We're ready to rock and roll here. There it goes. You can start to see it nose down. And we are officially on final. What a great flight. After having so many problems with with that damn Boeing 777. Finally a little success. Well, we'll see. I have yet to land it, right? Don't count your chickens before they've hatched. I'm going to get down to 135. Only the best here at Programmer Airlines. Hit that like and subscribe for more awesome content like this. A little bit hard to fly with no needles. We've got a flight director. There's our outer marker. My throttles are in the currently idle position, so when I cut off the auto throttle, it's going to get, I don't know how that's going to work. We're looking good, on target. Almost surreal at this point, just kind of floating in nice and slow, fully managed. Everything's looking good. Take a quick look. Oh. Back inside, no time for dilly-dallying. Yeah, we're at 1,000 feet. Fly it all the way down, baby.
500.
Hit like and subscribe. Autopilot off.
400. 300. Approaching decision height.
Yep, we're going.
200.
It's on. It's on like Red
Decision.
Dawn.
100.
'I do not know what is up with this auto throttle.
50. 40. 30.
Come on. Down, bitch, down.
30.
Jesus.
30.
This is not good.
20. 10.
Maybe this plane doesn't have reversers. Shit. Okay. Alright, so what I needed to do there was move my throttles after I cut off the auto thrust. I mean, at least we flew over the runway pretty good. Oh, how do we go from so good to so bad so fast? It still was a great flight. Love the plane, and you know that ending. I don't know what is up with the auto throttles. It really makes you force the airplane down. I mean, I wasn't that fast. We should have had a consistent descent rate. So, look at that. I mean, come on, baby. Come down. Oh, yay. They're like, put on the brakes. Programmer Airlines arriving gate 6, gate 7, gate 8. And now we smoke up them brakes. That's a great airport, though. That's usually how it goes around here, right? Let's hop back into one, hop back out of this. Let's bring our flaps up. Wow, I had the speed brake extended the whole time, too. So, I don't know. That was... that might have messed things up, but I would have thought that that would just give me more drag, but maybe it needed to overcome that, and maybe that's why it didn't do it. I'm willing to bet that that's exactly why. We'll have to try to remedy that the next time we fly this plane. I had such a good time, though. I think I'll do the next stream with it. That'll probably be Saturday night or Sunday for the next stream, guys. It's Thursday, so here we go. I'm trying to maintain a little bit, but I'm already excited thinking about the next time we get to fly this bad boy. Let's take a look out here. Oh, yeah, she's beautiful. Yeah, the thrust reversers don't seem to work, but usually when that happens, it's because I think something should work and it's not meant to work. Like, maybe this plane never had thrust reversers. I find that hard to believe, but they're not working. Let's try them again. Yeah, they don't work. Look at my taxiing. Let's hop back in here. We wanna try to get parked. Oh, was we supposed to be over there? All right, hold on. We'll take a left turn. Left turn, Clyde. No, it was right turn, Clyde. If you guys remember the old Clint Eastwood movie in which he drove around the country on a mission. I mean, he was doing something. He's just a civilian, but and he had a monkey with him. Or an orangutan, I guess might be the correct term, but he would just say, right turn, Clyde, and Clyde would stick his arm out to make the right turn signal, and he would just punch out whoever. Like, there would be guys on motorcycles next to him and stuff like that. I don't know why I just thought of that. And we're coming on right over here. Oh. Alright, I'm going to utilize all of my space here. Oh, we got all of our lights on. We're probably blinding everybody. Very nice, very nice. Well, any landing you can walk away from is a good one. So I'm counting this as a win. Let's go ahead and set the parking brake. Got that done. Oh, let's see. What all do we need to do up here? Let's see. We can turn and make sure all this stuff is turned off, 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 off. Yeah, we can hit off the hydraulics. We can turn off all of this. Very good. And let's go ahead and hop off of the generators. And then we'll pull the fuel out. Very nice. Not perfect by your pilot, but we're getting the feel. I mean, we're flying lots of different airplanes, so everything's a little bit different. But this baby is something special. We'll definitely be doing this one on a stream because I like the way it flies. And I like the old school feel of it. So hope you enjoyed the flight. Hit like and subscribe. Keep your eye on the channel for more content. And we'll see you in the next one.